Big Officer Chef Rosenberg, I am here. Premium Black News, y'all. Who do I have with me? Oh, look, we never finished doing this. It's okay. No worries. No worries.
You have
no worries.
Ulrich here. Long time no see. We missed you.
Yeah, man, it's been 2 weeks, y'all. 2 weeks we've been gone. But now we're back, and I think, I was telling Ulrich on the ride here that I think that 2 weeks helped me because I was really enthused about coming here today. Very enthusiastic. And really feeling like, I'm ready to make it happen. So, with that being said, why don't we move this a little deeper in here, closer this way.
Sliding with you.
Thank you. You're sliding with me. Daniel has been getting ready a long time, by the way.
Yeah. He's always he has to make an entrance.
Entrance. Daniel's here. Daniel B.
Figure guys.
Yeah,
All right, so Premium Black News, y'all. We are here. We are back. We got who?
Ulrich.
Ulrich, educator. We got
Daniel B.
entrepreneur. And then we got Big Elvis the chef, cannabis guy. So now, this last 2 weeks has been popping on these internet streets. You guys aware of this?
Nah, I have no idea.
You know about Jamie Foxx?
Yes.
I know of him.
Did you know he had a medical emergency?
No, I had no idea.
He had a medical emergency. What does that mean?
Is
I
he
thought it was a
okay?
stroke.
That could be what it is, but we don't know. I saw something today that they were saying, this, mind you, it's been what, 10 days, 15, 10, 12 days? This happened with Jamie Foxx? Now, they're saying that, Jamie Foxx, he's doing so much better now. He seems like, he's going to be okay, he had all that problems with those drugs, those secret drug problems. I swear to you, that's what they're saying. That's the narrative. So I stood away from that narrative. I don't want to hear about somebody who has secret drug problems. If you have a secret drug problem, then why are we talking about it? I can like this is the narrative you're gonna put on a sick man. He had drug problems from the age of 18, and then they're showing clips of him saying stuff like, it was out there and it was available, and we was doing a lot of things out. What? Come on, stop it. Everyone talks like that.
Maybe they're
That doesn't mean
covering
you have a-
something up.
Yeah, they're trying to say he had a huge drug problem. I think it's sad. So I'm having a hard time getting this thing here. You see where my head is right here? I don't know what is that about. And it's
You
like,
want to show more of your hat?
no, I want to just be able to show like you guys. Look, I can see the top of both of you guys' heads. Pause.
Yeah, so he wants your more hat, I guess. Why don't you just tip it like that? Or does it?
Yeah, just like that. Yeah. This is the highest it goes. All of a sudden, it doesn't want to cooperate. Look, I just showed your whole house off. Somebody's gonna slow that down. Like they do with all the fake events. They always slow everything down.
Maybe we can lean a little bit.
Lean with it. Rock with it. Oh, you know what else? I am wearing boots. So, that's what the issue is. These boots. I gotta make sure I don't do that for the neighbors, right?
Yeah, there we are.
Yeah, we are in the penthouse. Penthouse is supposed to be partying. So, that's not necessarily true. So there's a lot going on. Did you hear about that news reporter girl who said that she was asked by Ayana Van Zandt whether or not she was willing to date the bus driver?
Now, Diana Van Zandt, she's the lady who's associated with Oprah and always gives people advice.
Right.
And she holds you and cries with you.
I don't know all that, but yes,
Okay.
yes. Daniel B, you need to come closer. Come on, Ulrich is cool. He's good people, man. Look like you and Ulrich had beef earlier or something.
Oh, we're cool, man.
Yeah.
Nah, but I did hear about that, and she wrote a book, and that's what it was based on. Is her kind of like what you guys do, like based on statistics, and she was defending her actions, which I mean she made some points, but I think it ruffled a lot of feathers.
It ruffled a lot of feathers. It ruffled tons of feathers, and it leads me to this guy. This is a guy, he's on TikTok. I don't even know his name. I saw him 3-4 months ago. And I was like, let me play him. Let's see what he got to say. Because he's like a Kevin Samuels 3.0.
Okay. Well, okay. So does he give advice to?
I don't know yet. This is only,
Okay,
I only know
gotcha.
these. Only know these. No. Oren's gonna play the clip on his phone,
Okay.
and then
Gotcha.
we'll play the clip on the TV.
Gotcha. All
So,
right.
and
Here
this
we
is
go.
this is the first one that I heard of this guy, and you just gotta hold it up if you don't mind.
We'll do.
While I hit me, get a libation going. Over here.
I was the drinker tonight. All right.
No.
No.
That's not push a false narrative. I am on
27 and
camera.
you're unmarried, you're crossing into the danger zone. The danger
Oh,
zone
no,
is a
again,
population of leftover.
That's fine. That's fine. What happened?
They got the danger zone video.
No, don't worry about this. Don't you keep thinking they're the same. They ain't the same.
No.
Just play this one. Me and Ulrich, we're going through it tonight with this.
Yeah. See look what happens when I click the video you sent me.
Click
I
it.
click it, and it goes to this.
That's fine.
That's not the video though.
This is the video. Where's the volume?
Danger zone. The danger zone is a population of leftover women, typically ages 27 to 35-year-old women who couldn't make the cut. No ring, no husband, and no family household. Women who entered the dating market at 18. And from 18 to 27, you spent 9 years auditioning to be a wife. And you failed. A few things took place. During this time frame, you racked up a body count, no ring. You racked up babies, no ring. You racked up pounds. And your sexual marketplace value started to decrease during your prime years. You racked up pounds before 18 because your parents overfed you and never put you in team sports. And you were just ugly and didn't improve in other areas of your appearance to compensate for your mug. You spent your entire S&V window pursuing independence. Congratulations. You just forfeited your power to swipe left and right. You invested all of your S&V into the Pookie and Ray Rays. So now you're crossing into the danger zone with bastards. Looking for a man to play stepdaddy. So now you gotta be punctual and on a swivel for any man that shows interest. But your choosy days are gone. Okay, now hitting the wall. Typically, time has completely exhausted all of your value. You're barely an option. You're a stepmother at best. Your natural attraction has completely depleted. And artificial beauty enhancement is the only way you can be noticed. You're beginning to sag. You don't have any energy or motivation to keep yourself up so you can be noticed. You can only target gullible young men. Your personality and character can no longer continue to compensate for your faded beauty. You begin to use words like men are all dogs. You lie about getting attention from men to mask your own insecurity. You're forced to become a cougar. You're in denial, and the Bible has become your husband.
And the Bible has become your husband. So, when you was playing this, you saying I couldn't have paused it throughout this? It had to be all the way through. Can you play it again? And I want to see if I can just pause it for a second.
Sure. And look, that's the same video that's up.
Yeah, it's a different video. He's just wearing the same shirt too.
The wall versus danger zone. So let's look at danger zone first. Ladies, if you're turning 27 and you're unmarried, you're crossing into the danger zone. The danger zone.
So 27 and unmarried. Danger zone. You guys agree?
No.
For a woman? Or
Yes.
For a man?
A woman.
I think it.
Okay, let's
I think
continue.
there's
Population of leftover women, typically ages 27 to 35-year-old women who couldn't make the cut. No ring, no husband, and no family household. Women who entered the dating market at 18. And from 18 to 27, you spent 9 years auditioning to be a wife. And you failed. A few things.
So I think there's a
From
possibility.
18 to 35, you spent auditioning to be a wife, and you failed.
Yeah. So, but the first question, do I think 27 is a reason why
You're
you feel
entering
you-
into the
you're
danger
entering
zone.
danger? I mean, I think for in a woman's head it is.
Right.
I think I think they kind of moved the goalposts in women's favor. They kind of made it, they raised the age, the age for how appropriate it is to be single.
Right. Let's continue.
Place. During this time frame, you racked up a body count, no ring. You racked up babies, no ring. You racked up pounds, and your sexual marketplace value started to decrease during your prime years. You racked up pounds before 18 because your parents overfed you and never put you in team sports. And you were just ugly and didn't improve in it.
You racked up pounds. You weren't into team sports. Then he says you were ugly, and you didn't do anything to improve. Because I remember when I was coming up, it was the ugly chick with the baddest bodies. The ugly chicks, they had the baddest bodies.
I mean,
They
yeah,
used
but
to
that
have this
doesn't,
one chick I would never forget.
it doesn't matter when you're ugly.
She
though.
would have the crack of her butt at all times showing in her jeans with the nicest butt. But you looked at her face, you'd be like, whoa. I mean, whoa. Whoa. But the body was crazy.
Areas of your appearance to compensate for your mug. You spent your entire S&V window pursuing independence. Congratulations. You just forfeited your power to swipe left and right. You invested all of your S&V into the Pookie and Ray Rays. So now you're crossing into the danger zone with bastards. Looking for a man to play stepdaddy. So now you gotta be punctual and on swivel for any man that shows interest.
Now you have to be punctual. So between 28 and 35, you were late. Or you were late going to the parties. Men waited for you. Now your ass is on time. You know, you're in that danger zone. So you got to be punctual. And you got to keep your head on the swivel. This is what he's saying. You gotta.
But your choosy days are gone. Okay, now hitting the wall. Typically, time has completely exhausted all of your value. You're barely an option. You're a stepmother at best. Your natural attraction has completely depleted. And artificial beauty enhancement is the only way you can be noticed. You're beginning to sag. You don't have any energy.
I don't even know.
What does that mean? Artificial beauty enhancements.
I imagine plastic surgery or some sort.
I was
or-
thinking just makeup. She can't go no. She can't even go do laundry without makeup on.
Yeah,
She
but-
can't. Everywhere she goes, she's beat.
yeah, that's like a.
What do you think
self-esteem.
about that, Daniel?
Man, I have a lot to say. I'm gonna wait till the end.
All right, cool.
Motivation to keep yourself up so you can be noticed. You can only target gullible young men. Your personality and character can no longer continue to compensate for your faded beauty. You begin to use words like men are all dogs. You lie about getting attention from men to mask your own insecurity.
You lie about getting attention from men. I see that a lot. These women swear everybody wants you. Mm-hmm.
To become a cougar, you're in denial, and the Bible has become your husband.
And the Bible has become your husband. Are you guys willing to say you do not know this woman? Are you guys willing to say to the people out here right now that you do not know this woman who went from 27 to 35, and at the end of that, let's say she's past the danger zone. She's out of the danger zone. Now she's in that church, praising Jesus. That's her man now. You not met this woman? Have you not met this woman?
Not that young. No. no.
Well, let's say.
Can I?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I
insist.
met that woman, but I also met that man.
Which man?
That same man that went through the same thing, that realized he was running around chasing things, and realized he's over age and he's grabbing what he can. He realized life is short, so he's looking for God. So I've seen that woman, and I've also seen that man, and I've seen a lot more the men than I do the women.
Right. Okay.
Way to defend our sisters. We always appreciate you, baby. Our sisters do too.
Is it true? Think about it. It's, like he's going after the women, but he's
Right.
not looking at the men that do the same exact thing. That's why men.
Well, we can't judge that because this right here behind you is him talking to the men.
Okay.
So this is a guy here who I want to learn more about. I'm gonna figure it out. We're gonna learn more about him because I think he might have something interesting to say because like Daniel hit us with the knee-jerk reaction that he's just doing this to women, like he's out here attacking women, which I understand. It appears that way, but he's not. I'm gonna get rid of the shades. Well, everything I have is shades, forgive me. But I'm gonna get rid of these dark shades because I'm coming across a little too.
I thought you looked
Hit me in the
right?
comment section, tell me how I look. Alright, so Ulrich,
Yeah.
Daniel said that he does not see 27 to 35 as the danger zone. Am I correct in saying that, Daniel, or no?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the divorce rate, I mean, from what I've seen, and I'm only going to talk about my own personal experiences.
Anecdotal.
A lot of people getting divorced. They got married at a younger age. Some have pulled through, much less have pulled through it than those who have gotten divorced. I think as you get older, you kind of do decide what you want and like, and you kind of, can navigate that. So I think the 30-plus crowd is more likely to stay with the person that they choose than when they did when they were 20-something.
The 30-plus crowd, what are you saying? Someone that got married at 17, 18 to 24, now they're 34, they're gonna get married again and have a better experience?
Either have a better experience or have more knowledge of what they want and what they don't want. You know, it's, you know, as you get older, you get wisdom. Period. You know, that's just life. So
And who's filing for this divorce?
I think it's mutual between both parties, especially at certain times.
Well, can I tell you the numbers?
Mm-hmm.
The numbers are that 80. Ooh, that was good. 85% of divorces are filed by the women. And if you are educated woman, then it's something like, it's astronomical. 40% more likely to file for divorce if you're an educated woman. So women are doing all the filing. You see, men are gonna say, I know I messed up. I know this ain't working out. I know we're arguing a lot, I know we're fighting a lot, but I ain't gonna go divorce you now. A woman is gonna say, I need to be happy. And maybe the next time around, I'll do it better because, like Daniel B said, I've learned so much more. What say you, Ulrich?
Now, what was the specific? You presented a question earlier towards Daniel, but then you went through a bunch of questions. So, what was the original question that you had for Daniel that you had for me?
Does he not agree that 27 to 34,
So do I
35
agree
is
that-
the danger zone? And that's where a woman needs to be laser focused on getting her husband, because if not, she's going to be that woman dumping that Bible in that church.
No, that first of all, that guy. That guy seems like he's trying to like frighten women. I feel like women have no fear watching this. I feel like they have their insecurities when they're 21 and when they're 29 and when they're 35, because there's always some place I feel like they feel like they're not where they should be at. But I don't think women have. I think women feel they're in a danger zone when they don't even have their the like speaking with younger women. They feel anxiety towards every aspect of their life. So I don't think that they feel anxiety about relationships when they're like 19, 20, and 21. Like freaked out that they're not going to find their person.
Daniel B, you got to come in the room.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
So I don't
I
think.
have to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I kind of didn't understand what you were just saying.
I'm saying that women are freaked out about their future
Right.
at the ages outside of that danger zone that you're speaking of.
Right.
For one. So I think women have similar anxiety about their relationships or in their future even before they get into that danger zone. Secondly, I think the idea of a danger zone, the goalpost has moved for women, because what's acceptable to be a single woman has completely changed from it being now it's appropriate to be 32 and like chasing guys, being single, turning down guys, and doing stuff like that. So I don't think there is a danger zone for women.
So you're you're experiencing 32-year-old women running around, having a good time.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you, Daniel B, agree with anything this man just said?
I mean, I believe that. Yeah. Actually, yeah, I do. I believe that danger zone he talks about. You know what it is? I think he needs to be more specific of what that danger zone is. I do think that sometimes the longer you wait, the harder it does get. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of. Yes, I do understand what Ulrich said.
Yeah. To be honest, I think that guy almost it wasn't meant to be informative. It almost seemed like a trolling statement or something like that, or being purposefully combative or
There was a trolling aspect to it, yes.
Yeah, and come with
A matter of fact, and then the outfit, he's very reminiscent. You think of Kevin Samuels. To me, right away,
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Kevin Samuels. Are we so desperate to find us another Kevin Samuels that we will take whatever comes? Are we doing that? Oh, Daniel B never signed up for the Kevin Samuels training, right? And Ulrich, you were on the fence for a long time about Kevin Samuels. I was like 2 years or a year in the future for
No,
that.
I'm just
And
not
you
a
were-
fan of those kinds of women. I size women up like that on my own. I don't need to be, but not to the skill or gracefulness of a Kevin Samuels.
You know,
But what I'm saying is, I understand. I think what he's saying is, Kevin Samuels' whole doctrine is, women, you're punching above your weight class. You're being too picky, and you're going to be picky. You're going to be picky you're picky, and your pickiness is unrelative to your attractiveness or your personal value. I
Right.
think this guy's just saying you better not be picky because you never know this doomsday that's happening. Or I don't know if the doomsday.
let me pause. Let's pause for
can
a
I just say
second.
something real quick?
Please.
Yeah.
Okay. So my biggest, well, not gonna say my biggest issue. I had a lot of issues with Kevin Samuel. Is when I got to meet him,
Mm.
and I'm like, I've never met a man that was that diva-ish in my life.
Diva-ish? Diva?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it was not a cool meeting. Like, it was just more of, like, very well put together to perfection. I'm not gonna lie. Haircut looked like he gets one every day. Like, he gets to shape up everything every day. He was always, every time I seen him, he looked immaculate.
Kind of like me.
Yeah, but I think you do it a little more naturally than I think this is what he does. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's
Where
like,
did you meet Kevin Samuels? Tell us that.
first time I met
The
him,
great Kevin Samuels. Sorry.
I don't know about great, but I met Kevin Samuels. Initially, I met him at Saks.
Oh, okay.
He was shopping and I was shopping. Then again, I met him.
How did you know who he was?
I mean, it's see him on blogs and everything else, so it wasn't. You know.
Okay, so when you saw him, you was like, "Oh snap! I know this guy."
Oh, I said I
I've seen him.
recognize.
I
Yes, I
recognize
recognize him.
And then you had also said that you met him. Did you meet him or did you just see him?
No. So when I seen him at Saks, I was just like, I actually approached him because
Right.
we have we had a similar salesperson. So he kind of introduced us. He was like, "Hey, this is one of my clients. Blah blah blah. This is one of my clients." And it was just like, "Hey, how you doing?" And it was just more of like,
He was dressing someone, is what you're saying.
yes.
He was dressing.
Well, I don't know if he coordinates the sales with him or this is what he does. Kevin picks out the stuff and the guy takes care of it. I don't know. I never asked the details of it. But it was,
but he referred to what he was doing as this is my client.
yes. Just like I was his client.
Yeah. Well, before you get too deep though to what you were saying.
Well, the main gist of
when
it
you were-
is
Yeah.
he just acted very, very diva-ish.
Yeah, okay, that I was gonna.
That's beyond
harp on
everything
that
else.
specifically.
He was
So
wearing
you seem like this-
wearing a scarf and going like this.
All right,
No, but he was very. It was
The
I
energy.
mean, yeah, but
the
yeah,
energy was
The energy
Alright,
was it how you doing, or was
the
it?
energy was more like a woman than a woman that I would
Okay,
know.
okay,
Let me just
all
leave it
right,
at
okay,
that.
all right,
Oh, we
okay,
can't
all
hold
right,
back. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Troy.
go ahead.
Go,
Okay.
go.
So I'm hearing that. So it sounds like you're saying that you had an idea of how Kevin Samuels was supposed to be or how he's supposed to present himself, and
I see where you're going.
you seem like he let you down somehow.
Oh,
But
you're a
Kevin
piece of
Samuels,
work.
what? I'm not being a troll. I'm being honest. Not even trolling.
He's
I'm
not
not.
even-
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm definitely being
Okay.
genuine. Don't.
Okay.
You're gonna
No,
get
no, no,
distracted
no,
by
no,
his
no,
answers.
no,
no,
Right.
no, no.
But what I'm saying is, you seem. But Kevin Samuels was known specifically for his ability to be able to get to size somebody up, or get to know somebody and get to tell them things, or get to. Kevin Samuels works similar to how almost a therapist would work.
Right.
But to a very specific thing to a therapist with a specific specialty with, I guess, women who are unaware of their I guess personal value. But you seem to have a different idea of how he had the amount of masculinity he was supposed to have. Because he always came up to me. He always came off as kind of very into his aesthetics, very
Right.
very kind of
Always fixing
coiffed, always
fixing
stuff.
himself up. Every second he was like this. What do you call that? Primping. He was primping nonstop.
Yeah, primping, and so it when you said that, I don't want to always have another digression. People used to, you know, Ernest Hemingway.
Mhm.
People used to say Ernest Hemingway, but you write so masculinely, you write so manly, but you yourself, you're not manly or something like this. And I feel like you're trying to find a way for Kevin Samuels to be some kind of
Educated.
hypocrite.
Mhm.
But Samuels would. But so okay, am I correct in that statement?
No.
You feel like
Not
you feel
at
like
all.
okay.
I had no intentions of approaching him as he was. It didn't matter to me.
No, not approaching
No, no,
him.
no,
No.
But I didn't have a vision of who he was. None of that. It was just, and I
He
actually,
came off very feminine.
no, it wasn't even feminine. It was just more of, how to put it to you. When the client was like, when the salesperson was like, "Hey, Kevin, I want you," he was like, "Give me a minute." Like, like he was just, it was very diva-ish. Like I would expect that from a.
Oh, so you did have expectations?
No. I said I would expect that behavior that he just gave.
he was walking around with his bag like this.
Not at all. Very, very.
He's like, I'll be with y'all in a minute.
So you would expect that from a go ahead.
No, so I normally get that from a artist, female artist. That is, I'll get that from. I can see myself getting that from Janet Jackson. I can see me getting that from a Mariah Carey.
Wait, so you're saying he wasn't feminine? He was a diva?
Yes. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not taking
I
his
get that. I can
masculinity
see
with
that. I
that.
can see that.
I'm not saying he wasn't. He was very well put together, and that could have been him. But it was just more of that's what was off.
So you expect him to be
It was
less
off-putting.
diva?
No,
it
it
was
just-
off-putting. It was
You just
off-putting. I
you
get
just
that.
didn't like it. You just didn't like it.
No,
That
I
was
just
that.
found it. It was different. It was unexpected because I've never experienced that. Like, oh, give me a minute.
Yeah, but then he's essentially a celebrity in a weird way.
Okay.
Even the celebrity. I don't
If it was
expect
like
I don't expect I don't expect the Andrew Tates of the world or who's a Michael J. White. Images of fake masculine or Debo or the R.I.P. Debo.
See, but Eric, it's
To
not even
present the yeah, go ahead.
It's not even the masculinity. Like it's not. I'm never taking away him being a man. I don't care if he, whichever way, effeminate, whatever.
No, but I'm not
Yeah.
talking about manliness. I'm talking about the diva-ishness.
Yes.
I'm talking about, but I'm
divas,
talking about them being celebrities is indicative of their divas.
No,
Is
but
it-
I've
is it-
met new let's not.
celebrity. The fake humbled. I feel maybe Kevin Samuels would be more genuine in his divishness. But
Yeah,
that's
but it
not
was just
even-
that was just the off-putting part
Yeah,
to me, and it
gotcha,
was
gotcha.
so it wasn't even that, but it was just like I didn't have any expectations at all because I didn't expect to
And
meet
then
him.
when you met him and saw him, anything else he said, like on the blog, you were like, I've seen this guy. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it was more like I don't know. It was
that's
just
very honest. It's real.
it's
That's
like
very real.
You can't figure a person out, but then you're just like, why do I even want to? It was one of those things.
Right.
It's like I can't figure him
Plus,
out.
you're not a YouTube guy neither.
Exactly.
You're not
So
a YouTube
I really
guy.
wasn't into
Daniel's
like.
not a YouTube guy.
I only
He's too
see
busy
cut-
trying
and
to solve the next business problem. You know
But
what
it's
I mean?
like I've seen his, snippets of it. And I don't generalize somebody based on the snippets because I know that's just what the media pushes. Oh, he's woman bashing, whatever. I just never cared to. Like some of the stuff he says resonates. Some of the stuff doesn't. It doesn't matter to me. It's just I never,
It's a nothing burger.
Yeah, it's just more of like sometimes, he makes sense.
Can I
Sometimes he
say
doesn't.
what you said is interesting because what you didn't realize is that this nothing burger actually moved the needle in our society and for men and for black men and for women. He moved that needle. He had his hand on the pulse of America and the world for a moment. He had a moment.
But
Something
my
that
thing is just because
we can all just imagine how. I mean, we talking about this man. You guys don't know this, but Kevin Samuels, I'm about to get the iced out Kevin Samuels chain, not the Jesus piece.
It's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just can't afford it right now. Not the one I want. I might get a paper one.
Kevin Samuels.
Like that guy.
piece.
Remember the guy who used to have the paper chain?
Oh
He
yeah.
was the big, tall guy.
So,
Yeah.
so you almost seem like Kevin Samuels, someone to be revered, and you're just someone who's unimpressed by it.
Yeah, Daniel's not impressed by it. You see, this is what we have to understand is that Daniel is mainstream. Where
It's
it's not an insult. Daniel's a mainstream guy. He watches TV. He plays video games. He knows what's going on in the news. Here's a good thing. Do you know that Biden is in town today?
Yes.
I didn't even know that.
I didn't know it neither. All I know is I was in traffic and I looked over I'm in Brooklyn and I look over into Manhattan and I see the two big helicopters with the two, there's a helicopter with two big propellers on each side of it. And they're going around and around my house. I'm looking across over at New York City. I said, damn, either the vice president or the president's in town. That's how I knew. Because they only pull those out for the presidential stuff. Anyway, so Daniel, he's more tapped in where I'm really off the grid. I'm off the grid for real. And Daniel is more tapped in, but he's also not tapped in. He's not checking his social media like that. Which if he did, Daniel will be really big in social media, but Daniel chooses to be a little more reclusive and private. That's a fact, because Daniel's the kind of guy who should have, 25, 30,000 people following him, and he chooses not to. Where most people are begging for that kind of attention, Daniel's not like that. Anyway, so that's why he's a good combination to have here, because you're on the grid, but you're off the grid resentfully.
You call me a freaking, you call me a
I'm calling you an angry
contrarian,
black man is what I'm calling you.
angry
Yeah,
at all.
he's an angry black man who don't want to know what's going on. Leave me alone. I already know what's going on. I'm like, did you know about this? I don't care about it.
That's
know?
kind of funny. That can
So,
be true at times. about
there's some truth to
subjects.
that.
Yeah.
I'm very let's do that. You gotta keep walking away. So we're gonna go to the next clip. And he talks about men.
Okay.
And let me also say this. This young man,
Forgot to give you.
I don't need those. Ever.
No. This is try to.
No. I trust you, but I don't need
Strawberry
any breath
cream.
mints. My breath is
No.
always
It's
amazing.
strawberry and cream. It's a new thing just
Okay,
came
for
out.
the candy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, here. Maybe they will get I can email them and see if they'll send us a box.
Not bad. Tangy and delicious.
Oh, I haven't tried it yet.
I used to have dreams of Tic Tacs that
Does it
I
taste like
would
strawberry
be-
and cream?
Yeah, but that's what the aftertaste. It's at first it hits you with a tang, right?
Are you serious?
What?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Have you not seen the commercial? You only need 2. I dropped the third one on the floor. I only took 2.
But I see none of mine fell out of my hand.
Because I only wanted the 2. The commercials have convinced me you only need 2. So anyway,
It's not bad.
Yeah, not bad.
well, can you say it's good? Not bad. It's not negative.
It's more positive than I
Not
expected.
and bad.
No, I mean,
There
two
you
different
go.
things.
Ah, that was good. That was good.
That's not double negative. Two different things.
I know. No. But it's I have a pet peeve of mine. Well, you can't do this. I put that down. Please. Take your last. Take your.
Strawberry.
It's yours. It's yours.
Strawberry
It's
cream.
Yeah, he gave them those. Yeah. Splendidly delicious.
All right.
So I used to have these dreams when I was a kid that I was running and hiding, and people were following me from the Tic Tac sound.
What's the Tic Tac sound?
The
That
shaky
sound of
look,
the
yeah.
Tic Tac shaking. I used to have dreams when I was in my teens that I was hiding in like alleys from running from people, and the Tic Tac were always come up, they were always flying, like that. That's why I'm like, please stop.
Is that traumatizing? I'm sorry.
No, it's not
Yeah.
traumatizing, but why? I give my therapist $150 a week. I don't want to have to, get 2 sessions this week.
Sometimes you
So
gotta
now-
need exposure therapy. We should just shake Tic Tacs at you till you get over it.
Yeah. So why does that even happen to me? I don't even know.
Yeah.
But it was definitely a
Probably
little.
associated with some trauma or something.
Of course,
like
come
that.
on. We're all victims of trauma in some degree.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So, we're gonna listen to this. Oh, this is what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
That gummy is pretty good.
Not too shabby, man. Not too
Wow.
shabby.
God is in the gummy.
Yeah. And hey, look, we were gone for 2 weeks, and look, we're right back talking at him. Right back. It's like we never left.
Boom. So now, I do want to say this. What this gentleman did today, or 4 months ago when this came out on TikTok, he's trying to redefine this here. When a woman hits the wall, Kevin Samuels was known for the redefining of what a high value man is. He never created the word. He always say, I didn't create the word, but I will help define the word high value man.
Yeah.
And he also helped in that process define hitting the wall and the danger zone. So this young man here, he is added his sauce and his gravy, and he's dressing his drip, and he is spitting that rhetoric. And is it rhetoric? I say yes. Is it important? I still say yes. Do I like him so far? I like him. I like it. Is he full of shite and just trying to jump on? Is he a clout chaser? Of course, we all clout chasing. We all clout chase. Only person that ain't clout chasing here is this one and this one here. They just riding with me and they saying whatever happens, I'm just having fun. So it's a little different for you guys. But a lot of other people like me, I'm clout chasing. I used to have a whole series called Clout Chasing. Clout chasing, I got up to like episode like 200. And it was just, you know.
I'm surprised that's not a show. That sounds like a thing.
Yeah,
Some show.
it was Cloud Chasing episode dot. That was what I was trying to and I even was gonna trademark it and everything. But whatever. I do a lot of things. I got a lot of my see, I'm a scatterbrain, so I'm a dreamer and an optimist. That's my problem. So Daniel, please play the next one.
All right.
And we will listen to what he has to say about the men. Very, very good.
Take these into the other rooms. And,
Let's look at Danger Zone first. The Danger Zone is a population of men who are sexually undisciplined, economically unproductive, broke, and typically within 30 days of a 9-month window before his unwed mate delivers his child, in which he has little to no resources or no plan on how to administer provisions and protection for the family he has created. In some cases, men are born into the danger zone and have to climb out. In this case, from birth to 18 years old, it's automatic danger zone for men, if and only if you don't have a father in the household. Notice, I did not say father in your life or to come visit on some type of joint custody agreement. No. Father has to be in the household. So, a few things took place. Your fathers were run off by your mothers in exchange for support stemmed from the Great Society Act. Your father spoiled you and never allowed you to work and earn anything so you can develop the traits of ambition and work ethic. You live your life and struggle with dating, completely unaware of the impact of feminism. You are still taking your blue pill, or your red pill is on rage level. The men in your circle are not holding you accountable, and instead of laughing at you, they allow you to become a simp. You are a man, financially above average, currently married for a duration of 9 years, 8 months, 29 days, and 23 hours, with no prenuptial agreement, and you are unaware that you have 4 months before you are destined to pay alimony if it all fails. And you are unaware that you have 4 months to configure a post-nuptial agreement. Yep, there is a such thing. Okay, now, hitting the wall. Your fathers thought that the only thing to bring to the table to please a woman was semen, minimum wage, dirty laundry, and a Caprice Impala with 24-inch rims. This is your mind now. Even when technology allowed for contraceptions that further empowered sexual liberation, somehow you still believe that because you have a working pecker, you are the most powerful asset on the market. When the lifestyle you can provide has become triumphant, you begin to disregard and adapt to the changes of society. You finesse women for sexual pleasures, all the while selling hope for commitment and marriage. You gain pleasure impregnating women and deserting them, all the while shaming them for having your imprint and not being able to market themselves to someone who can appreciate what they have to offer, including your children. Or you are over 40 and have nothing to show for it. At this age, you don't have any kids and you don't want any. Your bloodline will end at you. Your fathers before you are disgusted of you knowing this. You are not married and you don't want to. You're afraid to. Your sexual preference doesn't align with a mate that could create offspring. You're severely overweight. You believe your value is solely within your wallet, unaware that society has allowed women to compete with you financially. You are forced to invest in bulk orders of lotion and porn subscriptions. You lie about all the women you sleep with and actually think it's some sort of achievement. You have to wear designer and jewelry to compensate for your lack of physical attraction. You are in denial, and you have created a manosphere to spew hate towards women because you've been hurt so much. You are the Moses of men and will not cross the Jordan River.
Pause that, please. Wow. I want to hear that again.
Dramatic.
I want to hear that again.
You know, I noticed significantly that there's a significantly higher number of
Yeah,
archetypes
one more
of.
time. But this time, Danny will be. You got to stick around. I know you're listening intently. I know you can do more than 2 things at once.
So we're gonna play the whole thing
Hitting the
again?
wall.
A whole minute and a half. I think we can handle it.
Let's look at
But let's
danger zone
pause it.
first.
Where's your phone?
The
I
danger
can
zone
pause
is
it.
a population of men who are sexually undisciplined, economically unproductive, broke, and typically within 30 days of a 9-month window before his unwed mate delivers his child, in which he has little to no resources or no plan on how to administer provisions and protection for the family he has created. In some cases,
Do we know this person he speaks of?
That person was me.
That person was you.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's continue.
men are born into the danger zone and have to climb out. In this case, from birth to 18 years old, it's automatic danger zone for men. If and only if you don't have a father in the household. Notice I did not say father in your life or to come visit on some type of joint custody agreement. No. Father has to be in the household. So, a few things.
Woo! Father has to be in the household. If the father's not in that, I see your face, Ulrich. No daddy in your household. How you feeling about that? You feel any? Did it sting in any way? No, right? You don't care about none of that. You're so tough, Ulrich.
Don't patronize me.
You're so gangster,
Don't
Ulrich.
patronize me. That was a-
Yeah, everything is patronizing. Yeah, let me just say this. I 100% agree with this man. If you, listen, I have 3 children. We know we got the 24-year-old, right? And I have the 2 that are in my house now, the remix. So now,
You just say the remix.
the remix. The remix. It's definitely the remix.
Oh, no,
But
man.
let me tell you, man, it ain't easy. The remix is not something that just I'm like floating through like this parenthood thing. It's like now I'm parenting more than ever before. Like more than ever before I'm having to parent. It's very, very, these kids need their father in that home.
Well, can I say something?
Yes, please.
When he says having a father in the household,
Right.
you can have a father in the household, but not have a father in the household.
Right.
He alluded
Being-
to that.
Of
yeah.
course.
Being a father, I mean, I have friends who had a father in their household who beat their mother all the time.
Mm.
What did they do when they got a girlfriend?
Beat
Beat
her
the
down.
girlfriend. Exactly. What did
What she do though? No, I'm joking. That's I'm teasing. I didn't do that.
So, you know, and
What she
that's
do?
what happens. He felt that's the way to show love.
Uh-huh.
That's
yeah.
the way, like, if you love someone, you beat them. You know, like, and so my thing is, yes, you can have the image of a father, but if your father's never showing your mother love, they argue all the time.
It's amazing how
It's a
you
lot
went
of
from a father in the house could not necessarily be a father that's good, right?
Mhm.
And you went right to him beating the kids. What if he's just watching the damn football game, and after the football game, he goes to the baseball. After the baseball, he goes to the basketball. After the basketball, he's even watching hockey. That guy, to me, is like just as bad as the guy slapping the wife around. You know what
I mean, I'm using an example of what I've seen, you know.
Yeah, you went
personally
right to
seen.
the you went
You
right
know,
to the
no,
man
'cause
beating
it's
the
like,
bitch ass.
I remember seeing my friend is,
Come this way,
growing
come
up,
closer, y'all.
you know, he had a father, and I remember his father, you know, like, it's, yeah, I mean, I think it's more to that.
Right.
I do believe that having a father, a presence, is very important. And if you're fortunate enough to have one who's very,
Yeah, but sorry, he's saying this is from birth to 18, whereas for women, 27 to 35 is their danger zone. Men is birth to 18, dude. This is what this man is saying. That Kevin Samuels never talked about. That is a very interesting concept to really think about. Before you're 18, and I tell this to my son and daughter know that if their sports careers don't get to a certain level by 18 years old, y'all got to get out. Y'all got to leave. Y'all got to get your own life together because your guys are. I'm preparing them for adult life. For real. My son is not going to be 25 years old living at home. That ain't happening. My son,
see, I see nothing wrong with that.
what? Living 20, 25?
Yeah, 'cause
No, I'm not doing it.
So, see, the thing is, what they're doing at the time. Say, for example, and I think a lot of, especially immigrants, non-European, they stay at the household. Like, I've seen people stay at home with their parents, save their money, buy a house. They're not going to a rental. They're not struggling. They're saying, okay,
You're talking about women. You never
no,
seen men do this?
Men, yes.
Okay.
Men do this where they sit there and say, I'm putting this in and I'm buying a condo. While I'm here at home, I'm going to school.
Right.
You know, where I can get free food for my mother, where I can get all the amenities that I have.
And what men is this thing? This is not American men.
Yeah.
What men are you talking about that are living with their mothers until they buy houses? What's
I'm
the
not gonna
percentage
say
of that man?
Well, I'm not going to say, you know, a lot of them are not American. A lot of them are, you know, Caribbean, you know.
Okay.
You know, other, you know, nationalities.
Right.
And I've seen it in. And it's just more of to me, that's the smart way. We're so quick to push kids out.
No, we're not. What I'm
I don't
saying
understand.
is out of the box. What I just said about what I'm doing with my son is not mainstream.
How about if he says, your son says, I want to try this business. I want to do it, but I need the security to know that I have, like, I
But
can
he's
do
not
that.
ready. He's not ready. He's not going to be ready. If my son is 18 years old, he should be at 18 years old. If this is if his athletic career doesn't pan off, which we have the option of basketball, NBA, and the option of Olympic swimming. Okay? Because my son, he has asthma and he can go 20 laps in the Olympic pool, and he can go with the adults. He's no joke. He's doing 50 strokes across the whole Olympic pool, back and forth. And by the time he gets to his 20th lap, he's still at the same exact stroke level. Everybody's like, yo, this kid needs to be in the Olympics. That's what everyone's saying. My son is super. That's why I told his mother, come on, this is a plan here. But if they don't follow this plan, or the trajectory isn't for this, then you're gonna get your own place, and you're gonna have to get roommates because you can't afford your own place. So you're gonna get you a place with roommates. You're gonna learn how to pay your bills. You're gonna learn how to do all that. You're gonna have to figure it out. And if he's like, yo, Dad, I got this amazing idea, let's try this. He's gonna have to have a business plan. He's gonna have trajectories. He's gonna have to be realistic. I'm not putting any money into anything that doesn't appear to be sound. And I'm preparing him though for that. My son is being prepared. He's being prepared for business. He's being prepared for being money and understanding money and investing. My kids already got, each of them have over $2,000 in just investments.
I mean, I agree. I understand what you're doing, but to me, my biggest thing is I realized that I would have taken more chances if I knew I had the support of, okay, I always have a place to stay. It's one less distraction. When you know I have to pay my rent and I have to do all this and I still need to do this, why do I need to give them more pressure than, my whole point is to take the pressure away.
Right.
And
As a parent.
And also I see a lot of successful kids live that life. They don't have to go through the pressures that a lot of people do because they have that comfort zone. It's so funny. All these kids that came out of, I hate to say this, but white kids were doing these art galleries.
Right.
And they said, yeah, I'm starting an art gallery. It's very successful because, I know I still got mommy and daddy.
Right.
That security is amazing.
Okay.
So,
I get where you're coming from. I know the people you speak of. I know these people well. I'm around them. I live around them. And that's another thing. My daughter and son are writing this book right now about children living with cannabis. Because I'm in the cannabis world, and these are two little kids, and let's talk about your fears and your ideas, and we're putting all that together. We've been doing that for the last 3 weeks. Now we started 2 months ago, but now we're revisiting. I'm like, guys, let's put a 30-day into this, and let's get this book done. So my children will be authors by the end of the summer. They will be authors. So they're gonna understand how it's going to be more than just either publish or perish, which I don't really believe in that any longer. But I want my children that fear and drive that a kid has to make it he doesn't need that cushion to know that I can fall on my father, I can fall on my mother. He needs to know that he can fall on us to talk to us, to have advice, to give experiences and good. But as far as just always being there to write a check, there's gonna have to be a cap. There has to be a limit to that because I want my kid to be like, I'm not gonna fail. I'm gonna organize my life in such a way that I won't fail, and that if I do fail, it's almost gonna be a bad thing to some degree. Even though I will, of course, never let my children out in the street or anything like that. I couldn't pay the rent. Like my son is gonna have to like if he comes to me like, I haven't paid rent in 3 months, Dad, then I'm gonna be like, well, according to your Instagram, you was popping bottles in the club, like that I don't have no respect for. You know what I mean? But if you are really like, in other words, like this guy said, it's between birth to 18 years old, the danger zone. And that's why, look, my son, we live in Red Hook. He's having problems with the neighborhood kids. So I had to get my son and pull up to the parks where he had the problems with the kids. And I was like, yo, y'all got to go at it. Y'all got to scrap. Because why? I spent $6,000 on their boxing for 3 years during the pandemic, and you're gonna tell me that this kid is bullying you and you're not gonna put my money to work? So I prepared them to defend themselves. So they're being prepared and groomed. So failure is not gonna be an option. Will it happen? Of course it will happen, but it'll be calculated failure. I was just looking at my stock today, and I bought into the stock when it was $7 all the way up to $20. And I kept buying in no matter how low it got. Now it's down to 80 cents. I looked at it, I lost $12,000 on one stock. So I learned from this experience. You never fall in love with a stock. So that's what I'm going to teach my kids. When they go into the stock market, I don't care how much you love this company, you don't never fall in love with a company because it'll kick you in your ass. So these experiences my experience and my failure is going to help with their success.
So having a father in the house extends your danger zone, you think?
Having a
Danger zone
father in the
age?
house actually eliminates that danger zone.
So there's-
Because when you're 18, you're stepping up. Like a woman and a wife and a man and a husband. That's how my son and daughter will be stepping
okay,
up.
but I get what you're saying, but we keep using age, 18, a child's brain doesn't even fully develop today at around 24, 23 sometimes. You know, so like rational
Is
thinking
there
is not
anything
there.
you can cite on that? I never heard this.
Yeah, it's
They do make arguments. There's arguments that the person's full brain doesn't develop until maybe in their mid to late 20s.
Right.
Stuff like. But
Okay.
there's been who knows when a person fully develops. And maturity, that's to me
but
that's
rational
pseudoscience.
thinking is later than what people think. That's why
Like-
you have soldiers.
When you
that
say
think-
rational thinking, are you talking about
why do you think teenagers get into so much trouble? They do things, even when we were teenagers.
Right.
We did things.
I used to
with-
ride on the edge of the train, dude.
Exactly.
How crazy is that?
Exactly.
I used to hold on to the edge of the train, and I knew that if I jumped off before the fifth pillar, I'll be all right.
I mean, that's pretty reckless. But I think that's.
I used to
I-
hang
Laurie's
on,
like,
I used
"Oh,
to
yeah, I
hang on,
didn't
I
do
used to
that."
hang on to the back of the bus and ride the back of the bus. I'm one of the reasons why they made the bumper smooth.
Yeah, but that's not maturity or age. Some kids, I would never do no shit like that. Like when I was younger, but
But
when I was
you're more
younger,
likely to do it when
You're-
my danger would be a little more different. So I don't think that has to do with development. Developing has to do your your brain development necessarily fully is determining your maturity or your more so your morals. Because your maturity can
Right. That danger zone between birth and 18. That's where morals are being taught.
Yeah, well, I think and that's it. Then that determines more than your aptitude, more than your physical abilities. I think your
What do you mean by
morality,
aptitude? Tell me what
your
that word
aptitude,
is.
your ability to understand things, your
Your
ability
aptitude.
to
Right,
when they
right,
take
right.
aptitude tests, it's how much you can like understand
Right,
like
right.
different kinds. So anyway, but so a bigger determiner, I think, for your future, regardless of whatever your danger zone may be, is your personal morality, and that that can be
And
taught
that
in
is
any
taught by
That could be
a father. It
I mean-
needs to be taught by a father because you won't take it serious by
Yeah,
mom and
because
grandma.
I think more so
Would you
because you can
agree
always
with
win.
this?
You can always win an argument against your mother. You can always win I can't even fathom. Cody losing an argument against you, or my kid when I'm at work. I would argue. I'd never lose an argument with a child. I don't even know how that's possible. But I used to always win arguments against my mother.
Right.
So that it's tough when you're young. I think.
Now, did you
don't-
win
and
it,
I
or
was
did
gonna
you feel that you won it?
I want it. I want something, and I get it. That's what I'm saying. But I'm not saying that as a gleeful way. I'm just saying I see how it's harder for a woman because it's not just that the women are soft. Because my mom was rough, and when she beat me, she was rough. but she still had that place where she would
Discipline.
will.
She didn't beat you. She disciplined.
Yeah, I don't see that as a bad. Beating discipline, I don't see either as a negative connotation.
Okay.
Beat your kids.
Did
But like I
your,
said,
did your
look at
mom
you.
beat you, Daniel B?
Yes.
Okay.
Every
okay.
time she.
I know she used
Yeah.
to talk a lot. I never really see
No,
her
yeah.
put the beat.
She's about that life.
She was 4'11", so you know, she was a little woman.
Yeah, but once you're able to take that, once you're able to take a beating, because a lot of maybe I don't know if it's a black mom thing or whatever, ethnic moms like whip them or put hands on them, but some kids are able to wilt from that beating and able to take that beating and say, all right, I'm gonna listen.
Right.
But some other kids don't, and that's where father's real value.
So you would agree
lands.
with this man to some degree?
Well, yeah, but he's making a bunch of points. We just stopped on this one.
Oh,
yes,
he's
come
got a
on.
bunch.
Yeah, but
we
then-
just,
then you
but
think
on
he
this
will
one,
go
yeah, I
far.
No,
never
no, no,
disagreed. I never was disagreed with anyone.
Watch out! Watch out!
He's been on tangents.
Wait, I ain't going no time.
Two things took place. Your fathers were run off by your mothers in exchange for support from the Great Society Act.
All right. I have to stop it. Your fathers were ran off by your mothers. Yes.
The Great Society,
I
that's
think-
a big thing.
I
That's really
think
big
that-
thing.
What children don't know is that their mothers are the home wreckers. They're the ones that are breaking the homes and getting these men out of there so that they can have this idea of what a home and a family should be like. There's women that will dump a man for the smallest thing and still have children in the home, instead of just eating that and figuring out an alternative way. Everybody wants to be happy. So women, I feel, are super toxic. And my mother was very, very toxic. My mother was, probably suffering from an undiagnosed mental illness. But all her sisters, for the most part, were. Because it was crazy in the house that they grew up in. My grandmother, she was born a slave. She was a child slave. And, she didn't get out of that until her husband, my grandfather, brought her out of that situation. He was able to, he was a bit of a tough guy. He was a money getter. He's the kind of guy, he owned a corner store and a restaurant and a house, and he has 6 women on the block. So he was a bit of a womanizer, they would call him. And my grandmother, she was very abusive to her daughters. And they all came out, like my mother was a product of that. She came out absolutely violent and a little bit crazy, like super, super violent, super, super crazy, and super, super toxic. And I can't imagine a man living with her. I can't imagine a man living with my mother and having a life and a family. I can't imagine that. Could you imagine your mother and a man in love, living together?
That's a whole different thing. But my mother, my mother
I'm not trying to have you say your mother's toxic.
Yeah,
I don't want you to
no,
feel
no,
that.
I wasn't. Trust
All
me.
right,
I
all right.
only say what I want to say. But what I'm saying,
So machismo, this guy.
what
You want to say?
My mother wasn't necessarily. My mother's like crazy, and they're crazy, anxious, and like worried to the point where it's almost unbalanced kind of worry.
All right.
But
so
she
your
was
mo-
never put me where
No,
I felt like
no,
I could not
So,
thrive in her care.
No, of course you can drive in her care. Let's let Daniel talk. Daniel,
All right,
please.
so I totally disagree with you when you say the woman is the toxic one, pushing
Right.
this man to win.
Right,
I don't
right.
think any woman sits there and says, I don't want a man that's going to support me and a partner in my house.
Right.
I feel that men do, let's be honest, we do things where they feel, no woman wants to be a single parent. Very few women, I'm not going to say it because it's probably somebody, but very few women, I think the percentage is very low, that won't sit there and say, I want to be a single parent. I don't want to have a partner. I don't want to have someone to love. I don't want to have somebody to support me when these kids are acting up. I don't want to have someone that's going to, provide financially partial for it. I don't think any woman sits there and says, oh yeah, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to push him out, but I'm going to keep the kid. I don't know. That just sounds.
I agree
That
with you.
sounds crazy.
I agree with
Yeah,
you.
but-
They don't say it, they do it. They don't mean, they're not in on the conspiracy of women. They're in on the idea of what it takes to raise children and the understanding that this little boy and this little girl got between 0 and 18 years old, or at least the little boy, according to him, has between 0 and 18 years old for the danger zone. If we fuck up in this process and he loses his father in this process, damage is going to be so done that we're going to be turning this boy into a Pookie and Ray Ray. Do you know the term Pookie and
Yeah.
Ray Ray? Okay.
But I mean, I don't believe that.
Okay.
But
Let's
let's finish,
continue.
yeah.
Watch out.
Your father spoiled you and never allowed you to work and earn anything so you can develop the traits of
This
ambition
one,
and work
other
ethic.
through
You live your
black
life struggle with
stereotypes.
things, completely unaware of the impact of feminism. You are still taking your blue pill. Or your red pill is on rage.
Guys, come on. Let's go back.
Yeah, because I need to hear that.
Listen to
Love
this.
the traits of ambition and work ethic.
Go
You live
back
your
to
life
that one.
struggle with things, completely unaware of the impact of feminism. You are still taking your
Well,
blue.
you trying to make a slight at Daniel?
No. Father
That's
has
what
to be
it
in the
was.
household. So, a few things took place. Your father's
That's
robbed by your
what
mother
happened.
in exchange for support stemmed from the Great Society Act. Your father spoiled you and never allowed you to work and earn anything so you can develop the traits of ambition and work ethic.
And we
You live
glossed
your life
over the
struggle
fact that
with
the
things,
Great Society Act was the thing that led to not having a man in the house, which I think that's important to note if people listening.
Yeah. So the Great Society Act was basically, and it was a trick the way they did it. They built these amazing buildings with elevators in them, going up to the 18th, 19th floor.
Yeah.
And what they did was they moved everyone into the projects, right? And then the politicians said, this is wrong. We need to have this for low income housing. We need to give some respect to the single mama and all that. So that's the Society Act.
No, they would,
I
and but the caveat, they thought people would be taking advantage of the arguments. People were taking advantage of welfare or the things.
Right.
Therefore, in order to make it so no one will take advantage of it, you have to make sure that when the people receiving the welfare recipients are single mothers, and that's specifically what it is, and they can't have a father in the house.
Well,
So,
for my belief, for my people, it happened a long time after that. Well, before that, prior to that, when they were slaves, and they would have these men who had these women, separate them, move in different plantations, and all they did was to procreate and make more slaves.
Right.
That's my belief of
Yeah.
when it happened. So this whole
Yeah.
other thing,
Wait,
the black family. I
Yeah,
felt
you're
was just
talking
short
about
for-
when they
Wait,
stopped, when
wait.
slavery was stopped from allowing no more slaves were allowed to ship in.
all right.
So they stopped that. You know this. Oh,
Are we
okay.
talking about now with the destruction of the black? What?
No, no, no. I
No,
think,
we're talking
I
about
think
the-
it's
You're saying
it's,
this is what is it? Societal act.
yeah,
No, I'm
yeah.
and I'm
referencing
just-
some. I'm just referencing what it was that he said.
And I'm saying,
And
to
you
me,
saying
it
it's
started
deeper.
before
The
even
father
Oh,
was
you're
before-
saying
out
that-
they were
Yeah.
pushing the father out the home long
Yeah,
time
yeah,
ago.
exactly.
Yeah, but no. The reason why that's distinctive because black not only like the black income and black marriage rates were significantly going up and they were higher than whites.
Right.
And that's when it dropped in. So it wasn't whether it was before that they were still moving an upward trajectory. So that it's not that the Great Society literally is tangibly responsible for the downturn in
Yes.
the black family. Not just it wasn't that just it was a perpetual thing because it was changing. Anyway,
No, it's a good point. I'm glad you
Yeah,
brought it
yeah,
up.
yeah.
I did want us to talk about the Society Act as well, but I'm glad you brought it up, and it is true. You know, these people were given these low-income housing, and they told them that your father couldn't be here. No parent, and then, you know, a lot of these mothers, you know, you start giving a person a check, they start saying, F you. I ain't got to heal none of this, I ain't got to take none of that. And a lot of them were home wreckers, man, and they pushed their men out of the door. All right, so this next part I wanted us to hear too. Daniel B. Ulrich,
you have to show,
pay attention to this next
You
part.
are aware
always
of the impact of feminism. You are still taking your blue pill.
That's what I wanted to hear. You are unaware of feminism and how involved with feminism you are. A lot of men between 0 and 18, this is what he's talking about. They are unaware that they are leaders and protectors of feminism.
Oh damn! Go next.
What do they do?
Next one.
Next
They were
one?
going to be eliminated. Knicks were going to be eliminated, but Knicks actually survived.
Okay,
They
great.
lasted. Go New York. But anyway, that's I don't.
And do you believe this is not this game is legit, not rigged?
No, but I'm into the playoffs for some reason this season. I need something to grab on to. So I
Okay.
got the playoffs.
Okay. So the next one.
The next one.
Are we happy about this? Being
Uh,
from New York, East Coast, we should be happy, right?
Not me.
Yeah, I like Jimmy Butler personally. Like, and he's plays for the Heat.
Okay.
Or your red pill is on rage level. The men in your circle are not holding you accountable. And instead of laughing at you, they allow you to become a simp. You are a man, financially above average, currently married for a duration of 9 years, 8 months, 29 days, and 23 hours. With no prenup.
That's because at that 10-year mark, she can get alimony. You know?
I didn't
yeah,
know
yeah,
that.
yeah. So a lot of women, they just waiting. They just like, all right,
Oh, I didn't know
keep
that.
messing with me. Okay.
10 years
I
is
got
a long
10
time.
years.
That's a long game, though.
No, but they
You must
you
have
know.
lost the love at maybe the 6th or 7th year.
You are
Yes.
unaware that you have 4 months before you are destined to pay alimony if it all fails. And you are unaware that you have 4 months to configure a post-nuptial agreement. Yep, there is a such thing. Okay, now, hit it.
Are you guys aware of the post-nuptials?
I assume
Like, you know,
some
it's a
financial-
prenuptial,
Yeah.
post-nuptials
I
are like, you know,
assume
once.
the same thing.
Because
as-
let's say you married a person, right? And then I open up and start a business. My wife, if we get divorced, is going to get half of whatever the assets I have. But if I have a post-nuptial saying, listen, you really ain't got nothing to do with this business. You're doing your thing, and I don't really want you, if we don't work out, to have any part of this, or only get a certain part of this. So it's like things like that.
You all, your fathers thought that the only thing to bring to the table to please a woman was semen, minimum wage, dirty laundry, and a Caprice Impala with 24-inch rims.
Damn.
This is your
I mean, is he marginalizing men?
This
Who's
guy-
he speaking
these
to?
guys-
He may be
I-
talking
I-
to his own personal,
You're sensing this is a.
He was very specific. I'm just saying.
Yeah, with the Impala, with the 24. But maybe it's because of all the songs. 24 inch on the Impala, Chacala. So maybe it's embedded in us to strive for these. We know what that guy looks like who's driving that car. He has 3-4 baby mamas. The guy who has the Impala with the 24-inch rims got 3 baby mamas.
I don't even know what the fuck a
Right
pie
now,
looks like.
even when technology allowed for contraceptions that further empowered sexual liberation, somehow you still believe that because you have a working pecker, you are the most powerful asset on the market. When the lifestyle you can provide has become triumphant, you begin to disregard and adapt to the changes of society. You finesse women for sexual pleasures, all the while selling hope for commitment and marriage. You gain pleasure impregnating women and deserting them, all the while shaming them for having your imprint and not being able to market themselves to someone who can appreciate what they have to offer, including your children or
The train go by.
Yeah. How is he even dividing these like categories?
Well,
Like,
it
they're
seems
so
like he's
random
targeting
to
us.
me.
Yeah. He looks like he's talking to 5 different men here.
He looks like he's talking to more than and one type. Like kind of seems similar to the other type that would have the same thing. He
I think
talks
he's
like a
speaking
lot
to
of these traits gonna
I think
have.
he's talking to a bunch of guys. He's talking to. He can't just talk to the one person. Like
No,
he
I know
said
what
to
you-
about the women. He's talking about the woman whose parents fed her too much and she's too fat.
No, I
He
know,
talks
I know,
about the
I know
unattractive
what
woman.
he's attempting to do. But these categories are not even like the subtypes are so random. They go from the car he drives to to not having a dad. To not having like,
Yeah, but
because,
that's
like
two
these are
di-
different guys. These are
people.
different guys.
These are
I feel like a
different
lot of
guys.
these. There'll be a lot of cross reference with a lot of these.
Yes, there is.
Across,
Let me just tell you.
are over 40
All right.
and have nothing to show for it. At this age, you don't have any kids, you don't want any. Your bloodline will end at you. Your fathers before you are disgusted of you knowing this. You are not married and you don't want to. You're afraid to. Your sexual preference doesn't align with a mate that can create offspring. You're severely overweight.
Did he just say something about the LGBT?
Yeah, clearly.
What do you guys think about that? You're the guy who's never going to have kids, you're never going to procreate, you're never going to get married, and the people that you're having sex with can't get pregnant.
Well,
now, I mean, they can get married.
Tough cookies. If that's something that you value, then you're going to be sad for life.
Do you appreciate the way he articulated that though?
Appreciate in what way? In which
In a
that was
way-
sensitive and that was like had a light touch and was
Like,
tactful.
yeah. What do you think about the way he approached that LGBT? Daniel B.
Oh.
I just think this man has a lot of issues.
Really?
Yeah.
Come closer.
I just feel like he's trolling. He's looking for that excitement. He's looking for people like us to talk about it. I mean, he's just stating things. I mean, he's making sure he taps on every version of a man who is that way, who is
in the danger zone.
Yeah, we know he's a cloud chaser.
See
yeah,
that?
but I don't
that's
wanna
He's
say the danger
defining men in the danger zone. I love that.
No, but he's not. He
Yeah,
defining.
I agree with
no,
that.
but
I think it's defining.
it's
These
the
are-
easiest
these are
thing to
such
wanna do is just
random.
say,
These
yeah,
are such random things, like
Yeah.
categories. He's like picking up.
24-inch things,
Like,
guys
what are
who
you talking about?
don't want to have kids, guys
But-
who don't appreciate women, but then guys who don't afraid to be with women. Like he's throwing,
I don't even know.
he's
yeah, I
throwing
don't know.
darts at
Yeah,
the
yeah,
board
I agree
and
with
seeing
that.
what
I
he
definitely agree with
Okay,
that.
okay. Good argument. Great argument.
You believe your value is solely within your wallet, unaware that society has allowed women to compete with you financially. You are forced to invest in bulk orders of lotion and porn subscriptions. You lie about all the women you sleep with and actually think it's some sort of achievement. You have to wear designer and jewelry to compensate for your lack of physical attraction. You are in denial, and you have created a manosphere to spew hate towards women because you've been hurt so much. You are the Moses of men and will not cross the Jordan River.
I loved it. I can't wait to see more from this guy.
You won't. He said everybody who has personal demons that they have to deal with, they're not going to see the promise.
Is this man okay? From
What
what
if
I
they
know, of
just
Kevin
say-
Samuels. Is this man the Kevin Samuels chair and turned around like he does?
Did he turn around like Kevin Samuel did? No. I don't.
Does he-
Kevin Samuel did have a little profile like this when he had the white mic.
But did he have a chair that he did that?
He did a couple of swivels. Yeah, he was swiveling.
Kevin Simmons was off the cuff too. This guy. For somebody who's prepared, this is
I might have
completely
pressed the wrong
scattered.
button here because I don't see any comments whatsoever. Somebody give me a 1 in the chat to let me know that the chat is still even alive. Look at that. We don't even have one person.
Well,
Maybe I must have put the
somebody keep
age
quiet.
restriction by mistake. I might have pressed the age restriction unintentionally. But it's okay. Whatever. I can take it off once the video is done. Which is about right about now. Give me some last words, Ulrich, about what we've seen today in this
I mean,
from this man. He's talked about women, he's talked about men, he's talked about defining, in my opinion, defining the danger zone. Defining it for men and women. And going above and beyond Kevin Samuels.
Yeah, so I don't think he defined much because when he's referring to a danger zone, he didn't say is he referring to a set or a peaked anxiety that you have, worrying that some of these goals are not going to come to fruition eventually. I don't know what he means, but I don't know what the danger zone is. It's just I don't know if he's referring to an age of worry or what, or when you should be worried, or what you should be doing right, or how people aren't right.
And you didn't get that from this.
I didn't
You're
get
still
anything
left
from-
with questions. You didn't get answers.
No, I got answers in which I don't want to. He's a nice guy, but the material, what I would derive from that is if somebody told me, listen, I'd be like, what do you just waste my time with?
Right.
That's what I feel about that. But I commend him for trying. He is a nice.
I think he is a danger zone. Anyone who does that without talking about themselves. See, here we all, even if we didn't realize it, we mention a lot of things personal about ourselves.
Right.
So we're not sitting there just saying, this is this and this is this. We're saying, this is what we experience. This is what we have. You get to see more of us. He's a person that you probably, from what appears, you won't get to know the true person that he is. He's more about observations of other things and bringing that instead of saying, my observations because of this is what I've went through. And
Right.
it's a different dynamic.
I can see that.
I'll just say that the only Kevin Samuels, and I do think it's important to differentiate these two. Kevin Samuels didn't really reveal a lot about himself, but there was more of a genuine. There was maybe a genuineness coming about him, maybe because what he was doing is more conversational. Maybe we need to catch this guy more conversation.
And I
so-
feel
Yeah,
Kevin
yeah, yeah.
Samuels.
I think that's
I feel Kevin Samuels was definitely a better actor.
He was on Atlanta.
I'm just going to throw that out there. I feel he's a much better
That was a
actor.
good way to.
I'm Big Elvis the Chef, Rosenberg,
I'm over.
Daniel B.
and you are appreciated. Look in the description for ways to donate.